Greetings, programs. Atari here. You there, back in the shop. Yes, after 2.5 months of a quarantine-style lockdown, I'm back here in the saddle, ready to go, where I am far more comfortable working, and I have all of my resources available to me. Just not unpacked yet. I'm still moving back. But yes, we are here and ready to go. So, without further ado, let us get on to a little bit of Q&A. Fixing the USB on the JBL Flip 2 speaker. Satwick Perla asks, can we put Type-C on that place? Maybe. Yes, there's a way to do it. I don't know specifically if it would fit or not. I haven't tried it, and I actually haven't looked for the parts. But there's nothing to say that you couldn't theoretically wire it to work. Electrically, it will work. It's just a matter of if form factor, is it going to fit? Setting up a TFT LCD screen on a Raspberry Pi. Kiro says, you are a genius. I love you, XD. My project become true for you. Ooh. And I think that's like a taku thingy. The ooh. You're welcome. You're welcome. Fantastic. Glad you got it working. And be sure to follow for more interesting things. What's inside the Xbox 360 rechargeable battery pack? Sauteed Cricket said, Microsoft's been ripping everyone off. Yes and no. This is pretty standard practice in the industry, is to make something that is easily off the shelf. You put it in a proprietary case with a chip on it, and it's suddenly proprietary. You got to know your foe. You got to know what you're working with, and that's why I said, you know, just use the regular battery pack. Just use the nickel metal hydride AA's. They work just fine. They're a little tight. You can route out. You could route it out if you really want to with a Dremel. I don't think that's necessary, but you know, your mileage may vary. But yeah, just use the regular battery pack with rechargeable batteries. It's the same thing. It works just fine. You just can't charge it while you're playing. That's the difference. It really is because it's a play and charge kit. You can plug it in, and funny thing, that plug is actually USB. It's just like the Wii controllers. The Wii controller and the Xbox 360 Play and Charge Kit are both USB. They're just proprietary form factors, so you can't like use a regular USB connector. It's a way that they can, you know, upcharge or whatever. So yes, in a way they are ripping you off, but if you know how to get around it, you know how to get around it. It's pretty easy. That's why I do what I do, is it's sort of like consumer advocacy. X64 Keyboard Repair, 8-bit show and tell says, I've got an XX64 that needs some work, so this was a helpful overview. Thanks, you are welcome. I might actually check out your channel because it looks entertaining, because I love that retro computery stuff, as you know. So, yeah. IKEA versus Inaloop. Someone said, this is kind of like buying food. Some cheaper brands come from the exact same factory. That's absolutely true. A lot of generic brands are made by the same companies that make the originals. The way they do it, the way they get around it, is by saying that the brand name doesn't manufacture it, but it's contract manufactured by a third party. That's generally how they do. Installing the disconnect switch on the car battery. Luba Luba says, but you missed the most important part, showing the disconnect, because this looks like a switch. It is a switch. It's a disconnect switch. It's a switch. You untighten it, and that puts a separation between the two connectors, the two contacts, and yeah, that creates an air gap, and it's a switch. I don't know how else to explain that. Tear down the PlayStation Classic controller. Dude Omega asks, is it using the rubber pads from a PS4? No, it is not. These are the original type pads from the original PS1 controller. Shredder Repair. Tidy Bananas asks, can you get shocked by the motor when disassembling? And Kevin Fikes, Kevin Fikes to the rescue, not if disconnected from the wall. And you're absolutely right. There are no secondary capacitors on the motor that I'm aware of. But your mileage may vary. Just double check, make sure there's not a charged capacitor connected in line with the power supply. Anyway, that's all you really got to do. Okay, that's it. That's what we got this month. Please go check out all the videos. Links are down in the doobly-doo. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit me up on the social media at AirborneSurfer on Twitter and at the AirborneSurfer on Instagram. You'll see photos of things in progress, and this is just where I generally just spout off nonsense. It's great. Here's a video that YouTube thinks you will probably enjoy. My name is Atari, and until next time, remember, it's okay. It's just a prototype. Tally-ho, y'all.